third-gen Camaro, GM was eager to show they dug out of the previous decade's mediocre performance with new technology and aerodynamic innovation. This 1984 Z28 wears its original paint and upholstery proudly. The only non-factory paint are the rearview mirrors, which had faded and are now satin black, and the recessed areas of the hood were refreshed at the same time. Its stock appearance is only part of the story. Underneath, it's been tweaked over the years to do this. And this one is truly a California car. It was built at GM's Van Nuys assembly plant in Van Nuys, California. It was sold new at Cerrito Chevrolet in Los Gatos, California on March 26, 1984. Interesting sidebar, the dealership was started by Joe Cerrito, also known as the Don of Silicon Valley, for his mob ties in the 60s and 70s, as exposed by Life magazine. The first owner kept the car for approximately 29 years. And it was his vision to take this Z28 to a higher level, with a 350 crate engine, the 6-speed transmission, and a long list of mechanical upgrades, to the tune of some $20,000 before he sold it in 2013 to the second owner in Morgan Hill, California. Comparatively speaking, his tenure was brief, and the current owner acquired it in November of 2017, and the Camaro moved north to Oakland, California. It currently resides in the owner's shop in Hayward, California, where the development has continued. Inside, it's remarkably original, with the exception of some speaker placements, most notably in the footwells. All carpets, seats, and upholstery is factory original.
I can vouch for that the T-tops don't leak.
That's a Hawks Motorsport billet short throw shifter on top of the Tremec T56 Magnum transmission. A note about the T56. This one is happiest when you take it by the scruff of the neck and row it through the gears firmly. It makes for an authentic muscle car feel. The headliner material between the T-tops is in good shape, and the aviation-themed roof-mounted trip planner is present. In the hatch area, you'll find the original T-top storage bag, and a 10-inch Rockford Fosgate subwoofer where the spare usually lives. Inside the lockable storage compartment, you'll find what looks like factory seam sealer and no signs of metalwork. And the top of the dash shows no signs of damage whatsoever. The only thing to report on the gauge cluster is the left blinker indicator bulb appears to be burned out. Check the auction photo gallery for a couple of upholstery, plastic, and carpet imperfections. Under the hood is the 350 cubic inch LM1 crate engine purchased by the original owner directly from South County Chevrolet in Morgan Hill, California in December of 2003. It's running Edelbrock Performer aluminum heads and intake manifold, Magnum roller tip rocker arms, a Comp Cams high performance camshaft, and Smog-Legal Edelbrock headers. The current owner added the MSD Atomic EFI throttle body system, a Delphi in-tank fuel pump, a Mallory fuel pressure regulator, the MSD Pro Billet distributor, and an MSD ignition box with timing controlled by the Atomic EFI. These are the adjustable strut tops for the QA1 coilover dampers. And a closer look at the edges of the hood show no telltale signs of body or paintwork. Also of note is the slew of California Air Resources Board stickers validating the legality of the aftermarket parts. Underneath, you'd be hard-pressed to find a cleaner, straighter example.
And the guy left a Metallica CD in it.
Modifications include the Hotchkiss rear trailing arms, coilovers, the Denny's drive shaft, the Tremec 6-speed transmission, and the Edelbrock carb-legal headers going back to the Magnaflow carb-legal Cat.
Someone at some point racked it kind of messed up.
And this is the one area in the right front corner that looks like it's been nudged by improper lifting.
Like some of the history here like cracks me up because it's like, you know, Edelbrock and Hotchkiss had a
Rear suspension is a new torque arm design for precise lateral control.
And here's a look at the Spone Performance torque arm.
torque arm suspension.
And out back is an Auburn Sure Grip limited slip with 356 gears, poly bushings on the bars, and coilovers with hypercoil springs. QA1 adjustable coilovers up front.
It's got a few dents and dings, but
And the wheel wells are pretty tidy. At one point, under previous ownership, the car was run pretty low, and the front fender liners were modified for clearance. The brakes are cross-drilled vented rotors all the way around with GM calipers and some street high-performance brake pads. And a closer look at the nooks and crannies of the wheel wells shows the lack of exposure to corrosive elements. These are 1985 IROC alloys, stamped front and rear as they have differing offsets. The tires are BF Goodwrench G-Force Sport Comp 2s, 225/55 ZR16s up front and 255/50 ZR16s in the rear, with 2017 date codes. The glass and rubber overall are in good shape. The windshield has been replaced at some point and shows no noticeable pits or chips. The T-top rubber seals well and does not leak. The original rear glass was replaced with OE glass sourced from another car after a bottle jack fell off the roof of a passing truck. There are a few scratches in this piece. And check the auction photo gallery for more stamp marks. Low beams are LEDs, while the high beams are conventional sealed beams. And the rear lenses are in excellent shape. From any distance, the overall appearance is stunning, but over 40 years and 60,000 miles, it's picked up a few wrinkles and character lines. There's a soft ding and a slight wave in the passenger door. There are a couple of dings and a touched-up scratch on the right front fender. This is above the flare on the left front fender. There are marks and wear on the lower leading edge of the front spoiler. This is the right rocker behind the front wheel. And the left side. There are a couple of scratches on the lower edge of the driver's door. This chip is behind the passenger door. And a slight wave on the left rear fender. And it recently developed this exhaust rattle at idle. The paper trail on this one runs deep, from the windshield sticker and warranty card to detailed notes on the first owner's build and piles of receipts on the build going back to 1999. For many, the third-gen Camaro marks a return to performance in American muscle cars. And this one takes that theme a few steps further. For more on the Z28, check out the drive video and the cold start and lighting video.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is...